Lesson 10, Polynomials, Division. Example 10. We have to find px divided by qx. Now it's a case of a long division, so I have to set this up. So I'll have x plus 1 divided into x cubed plus 2x squared. Now it's most important you have the powers decreasing. Minus x minus 2. Now first of all, we go along here and we say, okay, we've got to make this an x cubed. So if I multiply that by x squared, so x squared times x gives me the x cubed. So this must always be the same. Okay, then x squared times 1 is x squared. Now we do the subtraction. We get 2x squared minus x squared is x squared. And what I do here, I bring everything down. You don't have to, but I like doing that, just a visual thing. Now we go again. So this has to be, here we've got to get another x in here. So that's plus x. So this first term agrees. So x times x is x squared. So let's underline that a bit. So these have got to be the same. So they can go out, you see. Alright. So x times x squared, x times 1 is x. Now just be very careful with subtraction. Minus x, take away x is minus 2x. And we bring down the minus 2. Then we go again. We've got to get a minus 2x here, so put a minus 2 up there. And minus 2 times x is minus 2x. And minus 2 times 1 is minus 2. And if we subtract those, there won't be any remainder. Right? So that means that x cubed plus 2x squared minus x minus 2 divided by x plus 1 is equal to x squared plus x minus 2. Now if you multiply both sides by the x plus 1, you get this. Plus 2x. And we'll be talking about this a bit later on. Minus x, minus 2 equals x plus 1. And this is x squared plus x minus 2. Now, some names here. This is called a dividend. Dividend. That is called obviously the divisor. And that's called the quotient. Now, you noticed that when we got the last term here, we got no remainder. So it's plus 0. And of course, there was 0 remainder. This is the remainder, which was 0 in this case. And when the remainder is 0, it means this becomes a factor. Okay, here comes another one, a little bit harder. Now we're going to divide x minus 1 into this. But you'll notice something here. There's an x to the 4th, there's an x cubed, there's an x squared. There's no x term there. So we'll leave a gap. Some people just put 0x, I just leave a gap there. And that goes with any other types. If that wasn't there, you leave a gap. Alright. Okay, now we'll go ahead with this one. So clearly, we need an x to the 4th there, so we have to multiply this by x cubed. So I have an x cubed there. X cubed times x is x to the 4th. And the x cubed times minus 1 is minus x cubed. So this time they both go out when we subtract. So we bring down the x squared, the gap, and the minus 1. I'll do that. Now here we'll need an x squared, so I need to multiply this one by an x. So that's plus an x there. And x times x is x squared. Now here it comes. X times minus 1 is minus x. See how it's going in there? Okay. So when you subtract, these go out, but 0 take away x, 0 take away x is positive x, and we bring down the minus 1. Okay, so we bring that down. That's like a 0. So it's 0 take away negative x is positive x. Now this is a plus 1 up here to make that x agree. And here we go again. We get no remainder. Right? So in other words, we can say that this x to the fourth minus x cubed plus x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 is equal to x cubed plus x plus 1, or x to the fourth minus x cubed plus x squared minus 1 equals x minus 1 times x cubed plus x plus 1. Just going over that again. This one here, right, is your dividend. This one here is your divisor. This one here is your quotient. And again, remainder of 0. And when you get a remainder of 0, you have factorized this polynomial.